This time when we choose our letters, we're going to choose 3 of them. So we're going to, okay, we'll stop the video there. Start now. This time we don't want all the 2-letter combinations, we want the 3-letter combinations. So it's not going to fit easily into a table like we had for our cat and our dog. It's going to be easier to use a tree diagram, but please watch carefully, you'll need a lot of space on your page. So I think you'll agree that when you pick your first letter from the letters C, O and W, the first letter, and notice we can replace the letters in this example, so the first letter you can choose will either be a C, an O, or a W. And notice that I've left a lot of space, and the letters C, O and W are vertically aligned, so they're all underneath each other. So that's me choosing my first letter. Whatever my first letter is, I put it back into the pack, and then I choose another letter. So when I go to choose my second letter, I've still got the choice of either C or O or W. Maybe I chose an O first, but for my second choice I can have a C, an O or a W. Maybe I chose a W first. My second letter can be a C, an O or a W. But now I'm going to choose a third letter. So I'm going to have some more branches. Okay. We've put the letters back in, so my choices now are C, O and W, or C, O and W, or C, O and W. You can see that this gets a bit messy, and if you haven't left enough room, it's going to get really messy and you may have to start again. C, O or W, even mine wasn't quite big enough. C, O or W, C, O, W. Please persevere, even if you're not quite sure what's going on, it's going to become clearer very soon. C, O, W, C, O, W, and finally C, O, W. Notice I've still got my letters all lined up in a vertical line. Now how are we going to find all the outcomes here? Well, let's list them. And to list them, we just look along the branches. So my first outcome is going to be C, C, C. So I'll write that outcome over here, C, C, C. So perhaps I chose a C, put it back in, chose another C, put it back in, and chose another C. The next thing I could have done is I'll go along the next branch. So I'll go C, C, and then I'll go along here, O. So my second outcome is C, C, O. Can you see what the next outcome is going to be? I'll keep going along the branches. C, C, W. So I'm doing it in a nice orderly fashion. I'll do the next one with you and I'll get you to see if you can finish off the rest of it by yourself. So the next one we've got C. We finished on that first branch. O, C. So we've got C, oops, C, O, C. Can you take some time now to write this into your book? You're going to need a big bit of paper, so you might need to start a new page. Do that very carefully and then see if you can finish the outcomes. So pause the video and then come back because I'm going to ask you some questions about the outcomes once you've finished writing them all down. So pause the video and come back when you're ready. Altogether, you should have 27 different outcomes. That was a big tree diagram. But I could ask you some questions. So the first question I'd probably ask you is, how many outcomes or possible outcomes? And you would say 27, because you've 1, 2, 3, 4, you've counted them all. I could ask you, what's the probability when I do this game that I get a triple, that is the same letter 3 times? Well, I think you'll agree that that happens 3 times. We've got our CCC, we've got our OOO, and we've got our WWW. So the probability of a triple would be 3 out of 27, or 1 in 9. I could ask a question like, what's the probability of getting something with a vowel in it? Okay, so it can have any number of vowels. Let's go through and see which ones have got vowels on them. I'm going to highlight anything with a vowel in it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's going to be 18 out of 27, which is equal to 2/3. So 2/3 of those 3-letter words will have a vowel in them. Tree diagrams come up a lot in probability, so it's good to know how to do those ones, and we'll be doing more in other videos. Bye.